Who should have this reflecting thing?
I think the halfling, seeing how he's failed every saving throw that he's had to make. Seems like all of us save, and he always fails. He failed on the ship. He failed here. He failed from a random spell that was from like a mile away when we were walking through the water.
And the funny thing is, I think he has the best saving throw of all of us, too.
Just not the best
It'll
luck.
only help once a day, but that'll be a little bit
That
of
could
help.
make a difference. All right, we'll give it to him.
I start heading down the path he pointed to.
And Paolo, do you have a little pin? We'll assume you have a little pin or something to tack it on with.
Like on his cloak, where it clasps together.
Good idea.
Does it look like a bow tie?
No, more like a little shield or a badge sort of thing. And I got to write that on my list here. The spell shield. Okay, so you head to the edge of the road, and you see that the path, it starts to narrow, and it becomes more like an animal path, and it does go back through those pines. Tall stand of evergreens.
Before I enter the pines, I'll listen to see if there's any rustling and pig creatures or stuff like that.
No, don't hear anything like that. It's other than normal forest noises. It's fairly quiet.
Would you like a spell of invisibility?
If you want me to, otherwise we could just all go in and see what's going on. It seems to be a pretty blatant path, right, John? Like an obvious trail, whatever.
Yeah. And what you do notice is as you get a little further into the woods, it definitely widens out quite a bit.
So we could walk side by side almost instead of single file.
Yes, if you'd like.
Yeah, I say we do that.
Okay, so you guys are heading down the path, and you do notice then further up ahead of you, you start to see a wall. Maybe it's several hundred yards away, kind of down in the valley.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cast invisibility on myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have any second level spells.
Okay, I'm going to put an I here. So you're invisible.
Yeah, I'll try and hide too.
So you two are going to sneak up kind of to reconnoiter, or?
Yeah, I'll try to. Are the trees still kind of thick or not really?
Yeah, they're pretty thick.
All right, I'll try to weave between the trees too, off the trail.
I'm just going to be proceeding very slowly because my approach is always usually full of clanking and fanfare. So
Right. And I'm wearing plate mail too, so I'll just kind of walk along with her. We'll walk at a slow pace, not trying to be loud.
Okay, so how about Paolo? Why don't you give me a percentile roll?
74.
It's 90
and
outdoors,
my
so
percent
you're great. How about Reuben?
You want to move silently or hide or both?
Let's just do hide and shadows. That's probably good enough.
All right, let me find my percentile. Here we go. So hide. 20. So good. Hey,
Yeah.
I needed a 30. So
Yeah, you squeaked under.
okay. So yeah, let me know if you need to move silently.
That's okay.
All right.
And then Fandar is invisible, so that's not a problem. So what you see up ahead is, and you can't quite really see all of this, but I'm going to just throw the map up anyway because I don't have a picture of the wall. You see a wall ending at the road, and there's no gate. The wall is maybe about 8 to 10 feet high in different spots, and you do notice some kind of round white shapes kind of walking around the wall. It's hard to quite make out what they are this far away.
You mean walking around the outside?
Yeah, something's walking around out there.
Like we can see the image of something that's kind of just circling the place?
Are they bipedal or on 4 legs or can't tell?
You want to get closer or?
Well, I'm just
No, that's all right. So who's going in closer?
I will. Still, of course, sneaking through the trees. Well, yeah. How close can I get still being in the tree line and get up to the area? I mean, is there a big gap once the trees stop?
Maybe about a 20-foot gap. So you could get within, let's say, 20 feet of them.
All right, yeah, I'll definitely want to get close enough to at least see if, like I said, if they're bipedal or on four legs.
Mm-hmm.
How many?
Okay. And what you see are these weird sort of egg-looking creatures. And some of them are carrying rakes and other farming things. And others are carrying rocks, like they're working on this wall here. But that seems to be their job. And what you can see is maybe about 6 of them is what you could tell. Now, there could be more, but you definitely see about 6 of them at least tending this part of the wall.
Wow.
So I got to put a few more up here and then make them smaller.
Look at their eyes.
They're angry eggs.
They're
They don't
not
like
Easter
working on the
eggs.
wall. One of
Happy
their guys,
Easter.
one of their guys fell off of a wall one time, and he couldn't get
Yeah.
put back together again.
That's right. These are all Humpty offsprings.
Yeah, and in fact, you're right. There's one you notice kind of all the way up on the top of the wall there, and the others are trying to pass some rocks up to him to build up the wall. And you're not sure if the others are keeping guard or just rock movers or why they're there. They all have, some kind of shovel or rake handy.
Improvised weapons, so we got to watch that. We're not creeping up with them. I'm not, obviously, because we can't move. Reuben is, sneaking all the way up close. However far back I can stay, I'll just have an arrow knocked and ready if I see them coming towards us or going to attack him, and I can shoot at him.
Now, did you say that it seems that are they all around the wall, or are they mostly congregated like by where I am, or?
What you can tell is that right now these are the ones you can see, and they're kind of over on that the area where you guys are, and their job is to kind of dig up rocks and build this wall up as best they can.
Yeah, fortify the wall. Yeah.
Right.
And you said I can see about 6 of them.
Yeah, you can see about 6 of them.
Okay.
And
there's
we're
no
coming
movement
from
coming out
south?
of the.
And you folks are coming, basically like from the south, if
Okay.
using our map conventions.
And there's no movement coming from within the middle structure, or that I can tell.
There's some smoke.
Okay.
Some smoke from there, so somebody might be doing something back there.
Is there a little hole in the roof, like kind of like a chimney, but you know what I mean, an escape vent for the smoke, or is it coming out the front door?
It seems to be coming from behind the big hut there. And I should talk about that. You can't really see that much over the wall, but it's
Oh, okay.
but it's what you see is a thatched roof, and it's very, very tall. It's very, very tall, like maybe 30 feet at the center, much bigger than what one would expect.
And how? I mean, I'm sure it's varied in different areas since they're building it. But what would be the average height of the wall around this this area?
Like I said, about 8 to 10 feet.
Okay. All right. I will sneak back to Berna and Corlu and tell them what I saw, describe the egg creatures as thoroughly as I can, mention some smoke somewhere off over the wall. Can't tell exactly what's going on.
And I'm going to mention to everybody, if it comes down to it, I'll use the horn of blasting to blast through the wall if we can.
Okay. Hey.
And you might be able to shatter some eggs too. But didn't you say there's a portion of the wall that's open, like where a gate should be, but there's no?
No, it's not open. It's pretty
Okay.
much no. It's solid all the way around. The wall is.
But
Okay.
Judging from, we're kind of seeing aerial view of it, but it looks like that this path is a wall-worn path, and this is obviously they're building it right now, so it's a fairly fresh wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there used to be a compound here, and all of a sudden somebody decided they better start building a wall. Maybe these things, they look angry, but maybe it's just because they haven't had a break. Maybe they need a union. But we might be able to converse with them. Eggs are from chickens, and chickens are animals. Maybe you can use the ring of animal control on one of them. just to talk to him, see what's going on. Not telling.
He's
I'm not
actually
saying that he
saying
should,
that
but
chocolate cake is healthy because it has milk and eggs in it.
Oh, now I want cake.
chocolate cake is healthy. You should see how healthy I am. But the wall pretty much is 10 feet high, right?
Yep. 8 to 10.
8 to 10.
So, right.
Was there an area when I was up there, John? I know I wasn't super close that I could like get around and maybe climb over the wall where there aren't any egg creatures at the time.
Well, you're not
Or does it
sure.
look like they're spaced out pretty?
Well, they're spaced out in the front
Yeah, I'm
part
not
of
sure what's going on.
the wall that you saw, but you don't quite know what's
Yeah.
going on around back.
Right. There could be just as many around the whole circumference, is what you're saying.
It's possible, or maybe they just need to fix this part of the wall today.
How close are those big trees that you have drawn on the right side of this area to the wall? If I went to that side of the wall, say climb the wall, would I be able to like,
You could probably jump into one of the trees.
jump into the tree and hide? Or all right, I'm going to try that.
Might make a little noise, like if you've ever had when a squirrel jumps into the trees.
Oh yeah. Well, I tell them I'm going to do that and maybe get a better look as to what's going on the other side of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll come back and report what I see if I'm successful.
Okay, so you're going over to the wall, and you're going to climb into the trees and see what's going on.
Right.
Okay, so you have no trouble climbing up there, but give me a roll for move silently for jumping in that tree there.
All right, hold on. We got 30.
30?
I need 40, so.
Okay. What you see when you go over there is, as best you can tell through the trees, you can see the thatched hut. You can see an animal enclosure, a very, very large animal enclosure, like maybe a pig run.
Okay. Does it have any pigs like we just encountered earlier?
It would be big enough to hold one.
Okay.
One.
Maybe they escaped.
And in the back, you see a very, very large woman cooking over kind of like an open barbecue thing there. And
large human looking or?
Human looking, yeah.
Okay.
How tall?
Oh, maybe about a good 20 feet or so.
And what is it? Is she cooking something on a spigot? Or is she cooking in a pot? Or just something on the open fire?
No, she has some meat on the open fire there.
Not roasting marshmallows?
No, in fact, it looks like a boar that she's cooking.
Ah. Is it cooking enough where I couldn't tell if it maybe was one of the boars? Not but something like we had encountered earlier?
It could be, and you do definitely get the smell wafting towards you. It kind of smells like, bacon.
Mm-hmm. All right. Are there also egg creatures all around the inside of the wall now that I have a better look, or is it like you said they just seem to be focusing on that one area today, at least now?
As best you could tell is that they were working mostly on the front of the wall there.
Okay.
And she's tall enough that she probably doesn't need a gate.
Right. She just steps over it. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So besides the egg creatures and her and the dead boar, is there any other creatures I can see alive or dead?